Alright, let's have a look at this one. This is a bit more interesting because my A value is negative and my B value is negative. So that means it is reflected about my X and my Y axes. Now, I know that a positive graph, log graph, looks like that. That means that one that is reflected about my X-axis looks like that. And that one reflected then about my Y-axis is going to look like that. Alright, so let's do that one actually in blue. Oopsie. Just to give you an idea. And I like to imagine what that's going to look like before I even start, so that when I'm selecting points and figuring out what I'm going to do, I kind of know what I'm expecting. Okay, so we've got no vertical shifts, no horizontal shifts. So my vertical asymptote will be at x equals 0. So we have no vertical or horizontal shifts. So my vertical asymptote is going to be at x equals 0, and we're going to say this is reflected in the x and the y axes. Okay, let's now find another point. So I know from that shape that I'm expecting I'm going to have an x-intercept, but I probably won't have a y-intercept. Well, I won't have a y-intercept, so I'm going to have to select another point. Okay, so my x-intercept, when y equals 0, I'm going to have 0 equals negative ln of negative x, and that means e to the 0 is equal to negative x. So 1 is equal to negative x, and x is negative 1. So I have a point at negative 1, 0. Now if I have a look at this, I know I can't find the log of a negative number. So I'm going to be selecting another point where x is a negative number, so that I get negative times negative and I get a positive. So select another point, say at x equals, now if I select that carefully, negative e, say, I'm going to get ln e, and of course that makes life nice and easy. Okay, so I get y equals negative ln of negative e, and that gives me negative ln e, which is equal to negative 1. So therefore I have a point at negative e and negative 1. I've now got 2 points, and I can sketch my function. Oops. Let's just put our, that's not right on the line. Put our asymptote in at x equals 0, and we need some scale. Okay, so negative 1, 3. Alright, so we know we've got our asymptote there. We have a point at negative 1, 0, and we have a point negative e, which is about negative 2.7, and negative 1. So that gives me an idea there. Negative e, negative 1. And I have a quick squiz at my picture that I've drawn there, and I know that this thing therefore looks like that. Oops. That, and that's y equals negative ln of negative x.